that.
Oh, his family has fallen on hard times.
Like that guy.
His name is Paulton.
And my guy's like, what's your hardship?
Well, unfortunately, one of my relatives, my uncle's brother, betrayed the crown by working with some of the Red Wizards of Thay in an effort to corrupt the kingdom. Their plot was discovered by some harpers, and my family has fallen into disgrace.
Oh. Then I guess I'll just run off to the blacksmiths.
So you start heading kind of like off the main roads, out of the kind of touristy areas, back into more residential communities.
Why do you think your cousin did that?
It has never been clear to me at all. My uncle said that his brother was always a noble and true man, and why this ever occurred, I'll never know. But the impact to my family, my poor daughter was engaged to be married to one of the king's second cousin's aunts when this happened, and the wedding, of course, had to be postponed and will probably never occur.
Oh.
It would have been a great boon for our family to marry so closely into the royal family. As you walk further from the kind of touristy areas, when you get about maybe 6 blocks away, you're kind of in a more residential area, and you notice that a lot of the shops are closed, and a lot of the storefronts are not open. There still are kind of some neighborhood restaurants and coffee shops and things that are open, but they're not nearly as crowded. It looks like most of the people have moved to other areas. There are a lot of guards as well. So as you're walking the streets, you notice several, groups of guards patrolling this part of town. But you would assume just by what you're seeing that maybe the blacksmith shops are closed for the night, as the blacksmiths have joined the festivities.
According to my high elf,
yes,
I only meditate deeply for 4 hours.
Correct.
Unlike a full sleep.
Yes.
So I guess I'll just walk back.
All right, so you head back to the inn. They're still there. They're talking to an elderly, maybe nobleman who's smoking a pipe.
Okay. But he mentioned that, who is that?
Sildria Sylvain. Syldra. Sildra.
Sylvain. That she needs help.
Correct, and she's an elf.
She's an elf, and she needs help.
He said restoring her vitality. You're not really sure what that means.
Vitality mean?
Oh. Vitality means life.
So what happened to her?
I'm not sure.
My guy's like, where does she live?
She lives near the palace.
In
the royal sector.
My guy's like, give me a map or instructions.
She's not from a noble family, but she's been in Neverwinter for probably 150 years. She's extremely wealthy and very well regarded. Not only as a member of the royal family, but there are rumors that she may be a harper.
What?
Rumors that she may be a harper agent. The Harpers are a loose-knit organization of spies. They work for good. They're good spies, but they're kind of like Batman throughout the realm. Mm-hmm. They all work independently to collect information and prevent evil.
And then they bring it together.
And then, so he whispers that she's rumored to be a.
So my guy's like, I'm giving instructions to get to her.
So he pulls forth a giant quilled feather and a large piece of paper, and he draws a map. Well, let's see. You're here, and tonight I'm sure you'll be traveling down to the. So he draws a map. He's like, here's the gate from which you came, and here is the pretzel restaurant. How do you draw a pretzel? Pretzel restaurant. And then from here you'll be traveling to the center of town for the Yule festivities. The palace is here, and as I can imagine, her home is here, just outside the palace. It's a nice 3-bedroom split-level duplex with a fireplace. So he hands you this rather illegible map. He seems to have been drinking a little bit, but he smokes on his pipe and he says, I'm sure she'll see you first thing in the morning.
Well, where am I at the moment?
So you've rejoined your friends. It's difficult to get into the tap room. the line of people outside the pretzel shop is growing more and more angry and agitated as the line isn't moving. As you enter the restaurant, you hear some murmuring behind you. There he is. He's the one that's keeping this place moving so slowly. These adventurers hadn't shown up. We'd have our pretzels by now.
My
I think
guy's
we should
like,
get going.
my guy's like, pretzels on me. I throw up I give them I throw up 30 gold.
Oh, they're excited. They sing another song for you, Cody. The whole outside they sing it. The bard has come out there and he's teaching them this new song. It's called the Tale of Talon, and it's this epic. He's put a pretty jovial spin on your capture and emergence from the Underdark, but he's playing this wonderful song.
So, I think we should get going and go to sleep and get ready for tomorrow.
I guess I could just make a show with random spells.
Okay.
My guy's like, so I guess I'll just use Ray of Frost at the sky.
You blast giant rays of frost up into the sky, and you see other wizards join you and start firing ray of frost. And pretty soon there's, not a lot, but there's a smattering of beautiful rays of snow and frozen ice blasting up into the skies. The crowds are going crazy. There's lights. People are casting dancing lights and other spells.
I'm like, feel glad I got my gold. To keep my guy now walks away before other people get mad. Because my guy just threw those gold pieces to kind of be like a distraction.
Gotcha. Okay, and you go next door to the inn.
Got it.
The inn is very quiet. It seems like most of the guests have gone out to join the festivities, but you guys are exhausted having walked all day after being captured, eating your first good meal in a long time. You check in, they give you 3 rooms, or do you want to share a room, or how do you want to...
We'll share a room.
Okay, you get one room with 3 beds. With the dragonborn?
Can my guy's bed be small?
Yes. You get 2 small beds and a large bed.
Wait, a medium. How about a medium bed, a small bed, and a regular?
Right, one bed is too hard, one bed is too soft, and one bed is just right.
I don't need any bed.
You're not using a bed?
No, I'm just gonna sit on the floor.
You're going to sit on the floor and meditate?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it is. We've had a lot of...
I walk into his room and stuff 15 gold pieces into his pocket.
Oh, very nice.
Who?
I think he's put 15 gold pieces in your pocket, Talon.
Oh, to me?
Yes. Okay, so you guys sleep. The town is loud all night. It's difficult to fall asleep. But in the morning you wake up and there's a light dusting of snow covering the city. It looks beautiful, magical almost. It's just incredible. And no one's awake. You guys wake up early because you kind of went to bed relatively early, around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So you wake up at sunrise and the town is quiet.
I guess I'll take a head start to the smith.
Okay, so you get up and you head down towards the smiths. As you head further away from the inn and the kind of touristy part of town, you start seeing, carts in the street, people moving hay. Oh yeah, one of the other players gave us those cookies, so please eat as many as you can. But there's lots of stuff going on, and business. It looks like it might be a holiday or a short day. People were out late last night, but there are definitely people in the streets, and there's definitely work going on. As you approach one of the blacksmiths, you see a large dwarf with a red beard that has beads woven into his beard. The beads appear to be anvils and hammers, tongs, maybe a large kind of kiln, one of them with a ruby in it or something, so it kind of glows in his beard, but he has a lot. His beard looks like it is just encrusted with tokens and relics. And you know that dwarves often tell their family history through their beards, and so this dwarf appears to have an extensive family history.
Then I guess I'll just take out my quarterstaff and hit it on the ground once.
Yes. He turns to you. Hail, Mr. Elf. How may I help you?
I'm there too.
Oh, you're with him?
Yeah.
I would like to... Wait, do I need to fix my weapons or anything?
No. My guy.
To make it sharper, like my sword.
You ask the... I would love to sharpen your blade. You're an adventurer?
Yeah.
What brings you to Neverwinter this time of year?
We just escaped from the...
Timely escape.
Oh, tell me that this is not Talon the Great. We heard tell of your song last night.
I had a little bit of spending last night.
Oh, yes. Yeah, hi, you'll regret. A lot of us spend too much, but you know me, I'm always at my forge, always working.
I gave I gave some donations.
Excellent, excellent. So he takes your blade and he begins to heat it in the forge, hammer on it a little bit.
Does he quench
scrape
it
up.
in oil?
There's no quenching because it already has an edge.
What? Reheating the blade actually de-quenches it.
Right, no, he's not heating it that much. He's just lightly placing it in the fire to burn off some of the impurities and other chipping that's occurred.
My guy is like, do this to my sword and fix up my shield a little.
Your shield, and he looks at your shield. Your shield is a pathetic shield. He's not. I mean, he looks at it with scorn and dismay. He's
It's like,
from whence did you acquire this tool?
No, it's like my shield's like a large, like kite shield.
Right, and he's just like, no dwarf would ever use such a cumbersome tool. And he gestures to his wall where there are spiked shields and other shields that are much more utilitarian. Right, they're smaller, they're more compact, but they look much like significantly better crafted.
But
Your shield appears to be mostly for show.
no, it's like my shield's like a thick shield, like about 1 inch thick.
Right, yeah, these shields that he has, these are dwarven shields. They are much nicer.
So my guy's like, okay, I'll give you an offer of
For Talon, I would be
36 gold pieces for a spike shield.
At Talon, I would be honored if you would use a shield of Lowenbrow.
36 is my offer for shield.
No, he's willing to just give you a shield as long as you tell people that you acquired this shield from the great forge master Lowenbrow.
I can't take this for free.
Oh, okay. How much are you going to give him?
I'll give him a pay of 30 gold pieces.
Excellent. He takes the 30.
Okay then, I guess I'll take out my smith's tools.
Yes. Yes, he looks over at you kind of askew. An elf with smith tools?
Didn't I tell him to sharpen my sword as well?
Yes, he's also sharpening your sword.
Oh, so
But he's pulled out some tools, and the elf kind of stops what he's doing, and
no.
the
Dwarf.
dwarf looks at him with shock in his eyes. Master Elf, you bring tools to my workshop? For what reason?
Well, I guess I just wanted to do some random stuff with my tools.
Well, I'm working on an important commission here. And you see he's forging horseshoes.
So that must have been about the card.
You show Chris's Carnage. This is a small taxi service. Chris's carriages. I don't do this kind of trivial surface work. These shoes are designed for caravans that will be traveling through the mountains of the north
I asked
to
him.
Ten Town.
I asked him how much would you like me to pay you for
How much
a long
does
sword or
how
a
much-
short sword?
How much damage does a spike shield do?
1d6.
It doesn't show this anywhere.
How much would you ask me to pay for a dagger, a long sword, or a short sword?
So the prices would be the same as in the player's handbook. I'm not sure exactly what those are.
Do you need it? Or
No,
should I look something up?
no, it's fine. We don't need the exact numbers right now, but it's going to be those numbers. Or do you need the exact numbers? If you want to know, he can look them up for you.
It's a 15 or 14. Okay, I'll just write down the numbers.
No, not the array. He's looking for the price of a short sword.
10 gold pieces.
How do you know that, Cody?
I memorized this.
The whole thing?
Well, I memorized some of it, and two, I also have this to give me
Would it
proof.
be
Look at this.
Equipment?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Equipment in weapons in martial weapons category. Martial melee.
Martial.
Martial. Casting. Ability scores.
Starting by class. Traits.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the Justice League, but
Armor and shields, light armor. What do we
So can
buy?
I
So
take
he's
the
gonna
shield
make
as
the
like my
horseshoes, right?
Actually,
No,
I looked at it.
He's not making
My guy
horseshoes
asked
yet.
to have his old shield back in exchange.
You don't want the shield of Lowenbrow?
I remember. I have memories holding this shield in
Alright,
my
I
first
found the
battle.
table. What were you looking for?
I was looking for a long sword or a short sword.
Long sword would be
15 gold pieces, and the short sword's 10.
Saturday.
and he's right.
Okay then, I guess I'm good.
A lot of stuff.
Let's see. Dagger, piercing.
Most people were saying they enjoyed it, but a couple people were just like, hated it so much.
I'll ask him if I can buy 2 daggers.
What is it?
2 daggers.
The daggers cost 5 gold. Two gold pieces. And it's like one I'm hard of doing.
Dagger. 2 daggers.
Okay. Yeah, the daggers are beautifully crafted. They have D guards on them, which is strange for daggers.
D guards?
Yes.
The
I
ones
find
that
that-
go like
Yep.
in the shape of a D.
Correct.
Right.
Can I ask if what does he have any like what finesse? What can I look at? I'm like, do you have any rapiers?
He does.
Do you have the same type of rapier?
4 piercing.
He does.
Yeah.
Do you have like the fencing saber?
He does.
Like the just long lightsaber?
piercing.
Yep.
Or just a straight fencing saber? My guy's like, I'll give you a pricing of 20 gold pieces for
He
this.
absolutely sells it to you. It's a beautiful weapon, Cody.
Gosh, he's paying so much.
Yeah.
No, I returned one of my things.
Include everyone.
Yeah, all these actually
There's kind of raspberry in
should
this.
have been a separate movie or something.
Yeah.
So I got 2 daggers, a quarterstaff.
Yeah, exactly.
Your daggers are better. Just go double dagger. The first dagger doesn't get to add your damage bonus. So your daggers for +5 to hit.
Yeah.
One of them will get +3 damage. the other
Yeah,
will
I
get-
guess I'm good in terms of weapons.
Excellent.
Because with my high elf trait, I get to have like 2, 3, or 4 martial weapons.
Most of the early December is pretty
In
solid.
My guy
proficiency.
gives him my old short sword. I'm like, here, some extra metal.
Yeah, this one we have to melt it down as scrap. This is horribly crafted. Where did you get this terrible weapon?
Hey, that's a steel guard.
Yeah, it is a steel guard, but as you see, the blade of Lowenbrow is well sharpened and prepared to kill. Have you seen the TV show Forged in Fire?
No, I don't think so.
It's on the History Channel, but it's also on Hulu. We watch it on Hulu, and it's about
No,
people that make weapons. They make knives and stuff. It's great. So I'm
Wait, are the
impersonating
daggers
one of the guys.
elven?
Dwarven made.
One guy
So
says
they look really dwarven.
Yeah, they're stocky and kind of square, bulky.
Because the elven would have more of a flowing design.
Exactly. These are very dwarven blades, but they are razor sharp. They look very well made.
I'm gonna test how like my guy's saber he got is.
Yes.
Can my guy like easily like? Can my guy quickly swing it?
Yep.
My guy's like, Mike, this is a well crafted, right?
It
Saber.
is. It's very well crafted, Cody.
I guess.
What kind of guard does it have? Like, does it have the traditional saber's D guard?
Well, it's more of a handle guard, right? It's not just a D. It goes all the way around your fist.
Those are more for. And like, isn't that for Appel or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, you're not sure. It's carved with dwarven runes and other things. It's a beautiful weapon.
My guy likes his
How
short
much?
sword better.
So I paid 4 GP for my
May
daggers.
I guy switch his material back again?
So I guess I asked him how much money would it take for you to enchant my blade?
Unfortunately, I can't do enchantments here. I'm not capable of such skills. I have kinsmen that can. None here in Neverwinter.
What about silvering?
I could absolutely inlay this with silver.
Same back with my short sword.
Absolutely.
Dad, can you lend me 4 GP?
Okay.
So he gives me 4 GP. I have exactly 100 GP.
Yes.
I remember.
I guess I'll leave it at that.
Something like
Okay.
silver and the weapon cost something like 200 gold pieces.
No, 100 for labor and also the silver.
Yes.
Let's see.
But it's going to take him a couple hours. He's not going to be able to do that this morning.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's 100 gold pieces.
It's really, but then sometimes if it's a really good weapon, then silvering is worth it. But
Absolutely.
not for 2 daggers.
Maybe not.
So you asked for what to be silvered?
Nothing.
Well, why did you want silver then?
No, I just asked him how much it would take to silver a weapon.
So my guy, so is he like placing like silver over the blade, like?
Yeah, he would reforge the silver onto the blade, kind of anodize it on there, Cody. It would be a pretty extensive
It's kind
process.
of like reinforcing the blade, except
Yeah.
it's with silver, which would work against lycanthropes and night hags.
Yeah, for sure.
In real life, a silver blade would be useless. Literally, the silver would just literally just fly off. It would just be so weak. Your blade would have like no point after like 2 uses.
It looks like he's actually going to anodize it, Cody, so it'll be on there pretty securely. You're not sure how securely. It might chip off.
No, like the silvering would actually like dull in your blade because it.
No,
it
not
might,
really.
It might make it a little
Is
bit
he
duller.
quenching it?
The silver probably would require a second quench.
Okay, my guy throws him a file.
Mm-hmm.
Like just remember to file test it.
He will. He will.
So the
And
first
then
time
I guess I'll ask him for scrap metal.
Yeah, he shows you to a scrap pile. He has a large scrap pile.
So shall we go to the palace or?
How much?
Okay, it's almost lower than the
How much would I have to pay him to use the scrap metal?
Nothing. He'll let you use the scrap metal pile.
Cool. Can I craft a weapon out of scrap metal?
Sure.
Can my guy ask for a ball bearing, like those big ball bearings?
Absolutely. He has several of them.
My guy's like, how much would you charge for a ball bearing?
1 silver piece.
Cody,
I'll give you a gold. What?
any weapons that you want?
I'm gonna try to make. My guy's gonna try to make a dagger.
He's a master craftsman, Cody.
You know, Mike is like, Mike is gonna like see. Mike is like, may I get like I'm virtually like asking, can I take like a blacksmithing class?
Oh, you want to
Here.
train with him? Well, you think that Aaron may be able to train you, Cody?
And like, can you?
You could apprentice to Aaron.
That'd be good.
Yeah, it's
And so Aaron shows you how he starts melting things down and starts
Yeah, I
heating up the
know
metal and starts
that.
moving it around.
My guy's like this. My guy's like my guy's like grabs like. Do you have any bicycles inside your shop?
No bicycles.
Nuts. Does he have like anything that can like push a device
Wait,
down?
can I make a lance out of metal?
You're trying to make a full lance out of metal. You could try. It would be a difficult build.
Then I guess I'll just try to make a.
My guy's feeling
Sorry,
like
that's clever.
starting off with a
Like that.
bow. My guy's gonna make a recurve sax.
Got
no,
it.
just regular sax.
Got it. So that's just a dagger in terms of
Yeah.
mechanics.
Yeah.
I guess I should
So I'll make
try
a blacksmithing
making a.
Do it.
So 7.
That's enough. That's enough.
It's like it comes out, but it's like warped.
It's good. No, it's good. It's sharp and it will cut.
But it's warped. How about it's warped? Because so my guy just goes like finds it, requenches it.
Yes.
Let's see what my
I
quench
guess
roll
I'll
is.
try to make a.
19.
It's sharp.
I guess
No,
I'll
I
try to
haven't
make
sharpened
a
it yet. So
halberd.
first I have to
You're gonna make a halberd tip?
No, not a halberd. No, that means I wouldn't have a. I guess I'll just make a halberd and then give it to Cody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cody, can you use a halberd?
Had to buy it.
I bet the Dragonborn Paladin could use a halberd.
Okay, then I'll give the
I
halberd
can
to the
use a halberd.
dragonborn.
You guys, your party name could be the Halberds. You could all have halberds.
But I wouldn't have proficiency with that.
No, you wouldn't. You would have to just use it as a staff. Okay,
It's either I use it as a staff or to chop down trees.
so he gets back to work making his horseshoes, and you guys have finished using his forge. You were invited to go to the palace to tell the Duke Mayor, or the Duke Mayor, I think it was the Duke Mayor, about your capture and escape from the Underdark.
Okay.
And the military at the militia hall evidently is training and recruiting for voyages to Chult. And then you know that Saladra Sylvain may be able to help you.
So do you think we can split the party?
The Runaways series at all?
Not yet.
I heard it's pretty good.
It's in the
1d10 does oh, and ball bearing's an incredibly hard metal. You know that?
Yes.
And my guy did a Damascus with his blade.
So where would you like to go next?
Oh wait,
gonna say,
Oh wait, before
add Mr. Miracle.
wait, before we left, I guess
I didn't tell you that last time.
I just forged a few caltrops.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, you can forge some caltrops.
My guy goes to the military thing.
You head to the barracks.
Because my guy's a soldier background.
Gotcha.
So we'll go according to our backgrounds.
Have you seen yet?
Not yet, no.
So you head to this. You guys all head to the militia barracks, basically. That's near the palace. So in your map of the city, it's kind of over in this general area. As you approach, you can hear soldiers training. There's cavalry exercises going on. There's a large kind of grass field where they're riding horses back and forth.
My guy tried to get on a horse. Like do a ride.
It's behind kind of the main entrance, which is to a large small. You enter and there's a soldier sitting at a desk.
So my guy's like, I heard you have.
What happened?
My guy says,
he told me that I had something.
Halberd.
It does 1d10 and has.
It's a weapon. It's a spear, like a spear.
It smells like an actual spear.
HAL halberd.
Your halberd does 1d10 and has range. So you have a range of 10. So you're 35 feet away. You can move 30 feet and you can still. I forged it for you.
Like that halberd.
Oh, halberd.
I've heard really good things about the annual. Like everyone's saying,
once I
like
get
possibly
to-
one of the best.
Okay, so we're at the palace, and then there's.
You're at the military compound, so it's where the soldiers train and practice. It's a military base. As you enter, it's very clean, very stark. There's a tall table, high. Standing behind the table, there's a well-dressed soldier. He has what appears to be almost like a helmet or a riding helmet or something on, and there are two other younger soldiers standing next to him. He has a large book open in front of him, and he seems to be reading from the book.
My guy says greetings.
Ten Hut! They all jump to attention and salute you. Are you Talon, the great adventurer?
Well, I don't like when I'm being called by mighty titles like that.
We have heard stories of you. I assume you've come to inspect the barracks to make sure that all is in order.
A retired lieutenant asked if you needed any expeditions to Chult.
Oh, we are training troops on a daily basis.
May we join the Chult training?
The guy that was reading the book, is he still reading the book?
No, he stopped reading the book.
What's the book?
I walk up to him and show him my spell book.
Oh, wow. So you're an elf. The table that he's standing behind is very high, but you're able to reach up and you lay your spell book, and he's like,
What? Elves are very tall.
No, he's a short elf. How tall are you?
It's not that bad. It's like 15, 20 minutes.
6 feet something.
Oh, you're very tall.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were a short elf.
I never said I was short.
You're a tall elf. You're a 6-foot elf. And how tall is the Dragonborn?
How tall is he?
More bulky than tall, of course.
I have no idea how tall he is. Oh, I have not put.
How tall do you want to be?
I guess in my spell book there was color spray and magic missile.
Right on.
Which is good. I mostly have offensive spells.
So easy.
I've got a problem.
So my
Just a
guy's,
normal human size.
6 foot? 5'10"?
so my guy's slightly.
5'10"?
So my guy's an inch taller than the average gnome, and he's like 1 pound lighter.
Gotcha.
So he's like a tall, lean gnome as far as forest gnomes go. But it's not that much taller. The average forest gnome is 2 foot 6 inches. My guy's 2 foot 8 inches.
So I'm assuming you'd like to lead an expedition to Chult as great adventurers.
I guess in a response I just stand there.
Got it. Yeah, he looks at your spellbook, but he clearly doesn't know magic. He has no idea what it is.
That'd be an honorary thing to. That's such an honor.
Do you guys have a specific location in Chult that you plan to visit or voyage to, or what's your plan?
So I pull out a map of Chult.
You don't have a map of Chult, Cody. I was just using that as a piece of paper. You
So
haven't
do you have a
gotten
map
that
of
yet.
Chult to
I do not. I've never been to Chult. I have no idea where it is. We've been commissioned to train soldiers to survive in the horrible jungle conditions. Evidently, the water is poisonous. There are bugs everywhere, and it's very difficult just to live.
Yeah.
So we've been
I've
training
heard
under
of
extreme
insect
conditions.
repellents. They have insect repellent.
I guess
It's like a grease.
I guess to show them how I've trained at magic, I just use every cantrip and first level spell I know.
So you start casting spells inside the military barracks. Okay, so you're casting spells, dancing lights.
Anything that doesn't hurt.
But I'm not going to do acid splash because
Yeah,
I do
do
not
not
want to
do
kill
acid
someone.
splash. That would be a bad idea.
I guess I'll just use acid splash, and then I step out and use magic missile.
Okay.
And ray of
How-
frost into the sky.
How about
Correct.
How about you don't magic missile to your eyes just before it hits the ground? How about you don't do that?
No, I'll just shoot magic missile.
So the
into
elf
air.
goes wandering off casting random spells.
Like it's like you know you're breaking stuff.
No, there's nothing above me.
No, there's nothing above you.
You know you're hurting the roof by doing that.
He stepped outside the barracks.
Oh. Why did you acid splash?
So you haven't seen the Duke Mare yet, nor have you checked in with Sildra Sylvan. Sildra Sylvain.
Wait,
Silver.
using acid splash on my weapon would that destroy it? Like,
You don't know.
No, like there's a thing called an acid dip for a blade. When you dip in it, it makes it look black and like cool. My guy pulls out some like. My guy's like, anyone got like nail polish? Because I've heard people dip their blades in acid and nail polish, and then place like nail polish to place in letters to make like shiny spots when they do it. And like most of the blades like dark.
so then I'll just say to him,
So
"Are
my
you
guy
gonna
just
risk-"
my guy pulls that off. So when you do place it on, when you shoot that acid splash on it, your guy, it's like it places the letters on each set spells. Fortune favors the bold.
I guess.
It's the
I guess I'll
fortune favors
just
the bold in the dark.
stop flinging spells into random places,
Okay.
and I'll take my spell book back, of course.
Yes, yes.
And I guess I'll just take out my quarterstaff.
Okay, so you're standing there with your quarterstaff out. Balasar, what would you like to do?
What was the name of the dwarf that I got my
So
weapon
we're in the
from?
palace barracks.
Okay, so do I need to take out anything?
You should show that you're a noble.
Oh, good point.
Take out your
So,
noble emblem.
so what should I do?
You should have a noble emblem in your inventory.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
gosh.
maybe I forgot to put that in.
You seem to know my guy more than I do.
I
Yeah,
created
okay, I'll do that.
So
I
you
created it.
you show your noble title to the captain of the guard, and he's very impressed. He's like, "Oh, excellent, excellent. I'm glad that you've come to Neverwinter. The soldiers would be pleased to meet you. Let me summon one of the battalions, and you can address them." And he blows a loud whistle, and a bunch of soldiers come running in outside, and they organize in a not very well organized group. I mean, they're supposed to be in straight lines and rows and columns, but they're not. They're kind of trying a little hard. Several of the soldiers look like they're farm hands or, young men who maybe haven't received that much military training. They look like fresh recruits.
Oh.
But they are standing at attention, ready for you to address them.
And then I guess I'll just hold out my smith's tools, and there's my name on
You
it.
want to hear when Maggie kept his shield?
Uh-huh.
Because it was like a trophy he took it down from like his first enemy he killed.
So,
Gotcha.
so then I would introduce myself, and then I would like to meet who that person is.
Military guard?
No, that
battalion?
lady,
The lady?
The
woman.
That
woman.
Silvervein?
who?
Sylvain.
Oh yeah.
Sylvan Silvervein?
No, I think it was Sylvain.
Sylvan's. Oh yes, Sylvan's.
I think.
I forgot what you call that. So, her name
then-
is So.
Van. I think.
I always thought it was Silvervein.
The soldiers are looking at you very confused as you guys are having this conversation. They're not sure exactly what to make of this.
Someone asked us to do a quest to find someone who, because one of the members of his family had a wrongdoing, and so they have to do something for someone named like Sylvain.
Do you mean Sildra Sylvain?
Yes.
The great elven wizard?
Yes.
Oh, she lives near the palace.
Yeah, I know. Somebody draws an odd map.
She's recently sent two. She financed 2 complete battalions being shipped down to Chult over the last 2 weeks.
Can my guy
But she's not alone. Other members of the nobility have been also financing trips to Chult.
I guess I'll ask him. I'll ask the person if she's accepting any new wizards.
We don't think she's accepting wizards. In fact, we've heard rumor that she may be suffering from the death curse.
What's the
and
death?
the soldiers all go, oh, death curse. They're all shaking.
My guy heard about the death curse. I've heard it was something made by someone known as Asarak the Demi-Lich is causing it.
Asarak the Demi-Lich? Oh yeah, I know that guy.
My guy's heard that he's come back again after the...
No, there's no... It's the Soulmonger. Evidently an ancient artifact. The Soulmonger is somehow interfering with the
I've heard that...
healing magic throughout the realm. And characters or people who have been raised from the dead are being drained of their life force.
Into the undead.
Until they die.
Oh.
Then they might come back.
Does it have anything
undead.
to do with that picture?
No. There's no pictures. No. In fact, most of the troops that we've sent to Chult have not returned, the captain says. And again, the soldiers, you can see them like getting all nervous and looking at each other and like starting to back away from you guys.
Oh my.
How does that magic item maybe someone
The Soulmonger?
activated it? Yeah, maybe someone activated it.
I don't think... I mean, I know that the troops that we've been sending down have been questing for the Soulmonger and trying to locate it, but I'm not sure that anyone knows exactly what it is.
No, but did someone have to activate it, I'm saying?
Activate... I'm not even sure what the Soulmonger is, so I don't know.
Maybe it's like maybe it might be something like a skull or something like that.
A skull?
Maybe. I'm saying...
I wouldn't know.
Like, it might be something
Sildra
like
may
that.
know, though. She's been funding a lot of the expeditions and seems very concerned.
Telling the men what the Soulmonger is if she knows.
She may be waiting until they arrive at Chult before she gives them this information. She has shared no information with me. I've never spoken to her.
My guy goes...
I'm only a captain, unlike the nobility here.
I guess I'll just show him my letter of introduction into my guild, my artisan guild.
Yes.
To show that I am an able smith.
Excellent. He's very impressed.
So I guess I just stand there.
Yes.
My guy's like, let's not be glory hogs.
And the soldiers are starting to back away. They've moved out, and the captain's like, "Is there anything else we can help you with today?"
Just a small, fast sail ship with a flat bottom is what we need to get through.
A boat?
A flat bottom sail ship, like a ship with a sail to Chult.
Just
Chult. We need a fast, flat bottom ship with a sail.
We are not a navy. We do not have any ships.
Okay. Do you think?
Try the harbor.
Okay, got it, sir. My guy salutes him as he walks to Silvervein.
Okay, so you head over to Sildra Sylvain's house.
This is so exciting.
As you approach the house of Sylvain, and you're kind of asking people on the street. There are guards. You're in a nice part of town, so like on every corner there's kind of a guard posted. They walk the block and make sure everything is organized. There's not very many, wagons full of hay or pigs or breads. It's a much nicer neighborhood, right? The carriages are mostly for transportation. You see one go by and you get a wink from someone you recognize from the night before, maybe an employee at Chris's Carriages. And you ask directions and you kind of come across a very, very nice house. It almost takes up an entire city block. It is clearly of elvish design, intricate inlay throughout the brickwork, beautiful arches and balconies, right? The gardens appear beautifully and ornate. There's a large fence made of some kind of white metal that goes all the way around that seems to be radiating a sound, like a small humming sound coming from the gate. As you approach, there are two guards standing in front of the gate, both of them elves. Both of them look young for elves, like almost children.
So I guess I walk up to them and then I show
So
them
they're
my
how
letter
small
of
are they?
introduction.
They're not necessarily small, Cody. They just look young. So they're still like adult elf size, but they seem very young.
They're like teens.
Yeah, maybe teenagers.
So I walk up to them and I show them my letter of introduction and I say maybe you could know my Elvish Artisan Guild.
They stare at you like you're not even an elf. They're like, and then they look over and they see Balsar and they come to attention. And they're like, "Sire, how may we help you?" And they're basically ignoring you. And they're paying full attention to the noble Dragonborn.
So,
They seem to have recognized you.
We're trying to get a boat, right?
Yes.
So, I will ask, do you guys have a boat that we could use to...
Sire, have you been drinking from Yule?
What?
Have you been drinking?
No.
There is no boat here. You're at the gates of an elven house.
Oh, okay, so where was I? Sorry.
They kind of smirking.
So, whose home is this?
Someone's.
Oh, someone's? So,
Yeah.
whose home is this?
They look at you still, they're very confused. This is the estate of Sildra Sylvain. Your family worked for her 75 years ago in a great quest to recover the Horn of Vanara.
Okay.
Are there any nearby fountains or any nearby
In her
parts of
gardens,
water?
you see elven fountains.
So, anybody live in there?
The mistress is in.
Oh, shall we meet her?
Would you like us to announce you?
Yes, please.
Yes, they turn and they withdraw what appears to be. I mean, it's actually kind of ugly. It's a small, maybe goat horn or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of blackened and ancient. It doesn't look. These guys are dressed nice. Sharp uniforms, and they pull out this weird horn. They blow this thing. The gates open. The humming stops. The gates open in a weird kind of retracting way, like. The links of the fence kind of integrate into each other as the gate opens.
How does the
You
horn
also see
sound?
movement inside the gardens. So as the gates are opening, there's also things happening in the garden that you can't really make out, but shifting in the shadows kind of stuff. The path is well apportioned. It's a walking path with rose bushes growing next to it. It leads up to a beautiful front door. The front door opens, and there's an older looking elf standing at the gate beckoning you in. You approach, he takes you upstairs, and then down a long hallway that runs almost the entire length of the house from the stairs. In fact, as you're walking down the stairway, you hear clicking and whirring kind of behind you. The walls are covered in family portraits, pictures of other elves, landscape paintings,
My
but
guy
there's
says, what
hundreds of
seems
paintings.
to be the problem?
Problem?
And how does the elf look like?
He's dressed in kind of formal butler attire, and he's carrying a I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's like a curved wand. It's like a stick with a hook on the end.
My guy.
And he's walking down the
My
hall.
guy will do a stealth check to kind of like go for like to kind of like sneak around because my guy's stealth. Because my guy's kind of stealthy.
He's walked you up the stairs, down the hall, and he's opened these large double doors at the end of the hall that took you. I mean, the hall was the length of the block, so it looks like it would take you a long time to walk, maybe 2 minutes, but it appeared to take you like 20. Like the hallway was deceptively longer than it should have been, like it was bigger on the inside or something. But as you get there, he opens the doors. There's a huge roaring fireplace. There are couches, well upholstered. There's bearskin rugs on the walls. There's a large chest that actually appears to have dinosaur feet at the bottom of it, but it looks like they're live feet.
That's gross.
One of the couches appears to be made almost entirely out of a block of like granite or some other white rock, but it's like a solid carved piece. It looks like it would weigh several tons. Like you're not sure how they would get it in here. Sitting in a low chair with a blanket is a A figure you can't really make out from where you are as you're walked in and he sits you down. He announces you, Lord Balazar, and he leaves the room. The figure sitting at the chair beckons you to sit down with a hand gesture, but hasn't spoken.
I guess says, are you Soldier Silvervein?
I am. The voice comes, and you're unclear whether it's a male voice or a female voice. It's a strange kind of ethereal, like you recognize this from fairy tales. It's powerful wizard voice. But the figure is covered in a thick blanket. The blanket is shimmering. And it seems
What's the curse that's currently going on?
it seems to be providing some kind of camouflage. It's reflecting the firelight, even though it appears to be made out of just standard cotton or something. The blanket is doing some strange things, and she beckons you to sit on a couch that's kind of perpendicular to where she's sitting.
So my guy's like, good day, you Soldier Silvervein.
Welcome, welcome, Talon, I hear tell. A great adventurer recently escaped from the Underdark.
This is my party that escaped.
I, of course, recognize the younger Balasar.
And then-
His great-grandfather, Balasar, was one of the most helpful resources we had. I understand you've left the family tradition of the monastic life and the monks, and you've become a paladin in the service of a god. Unusual for your kind. I would love to hear your story someday. I'm sure it's fascinating.
I guess-
And you, elf, I've never even heard of your house.
What does that mean?
Where are you from?
That's a problem.
That's a problem? I understand you've taken up the dwarven arts of blacksmithing.
Actually, no. Dwarves make the most things, but elves make the finest.
Ah, that is very true. That is very true. In fact, let me show you something. And the chest that's on legs walks over to her chair. You notice that the legs, you thought they were kind of dinosaur looking, now they look kind of bird-like. I mean, it's weird, right? But the chest walks over, she gestures to it, it opens up.
It's an animated chest.
It's hard to describe. It looks like a solid piece of adamantium, but like a short rod. It looks like it's maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches in diameter and about this long, comes out of it, and she gestures to it, and it's a powerful-looking, weird weapon. You kind of recognize it as maybe something you've seen in your family collection of weapons, but it's just like a stick, but it's made out of metal.
I guess I take out my quarterstaff and compare it to the.
It's much shorter than your quarterstaff. Your quarterstaff is almost 5.5 feet long. This thing is only like 2.5, 3 feet long. It's much shorter.
What is
also,
that?
it's pretty thick.
What is that?
I guess I just go to the window and throw up.
There's no windows here.
So
Actually.
how do you know about my family, my history?
We served together.
Oh, right.
I actually was on an expedition in which this weapon was used to try to liberate the hand of Vecna from a powerful warlock who had come across it. We were, of course, defeated and turned back, but in the course of our adventures we encountered several important relics that are still used by the royal family. Your grandfather was a great hero.
I guess.
So wait, was the warlock's name Asarak?
You have heard of Asarak?
Yes.
The name never spoken?
And
I
then
did
The
not
traveler of plains? The denier of the gods?
I've heard that Vecna did survive and came back.
Relics of Vecna are found throughout Faerun and need to be quickly acquired by safe agents, if you know what I mean.
Ravenloft was.
Who did she
I remember
lead to?
Vecna when
Him.
she died was banished to Ravenloft and came
That's
back
a common
to
myth.
Chult.
That is a common myth. I'm not sure if it's true or not. I've never been able to validate that.
I've heard of it.
I told her of something that I'd heard of about Asarak.
Yes. He whose name should not be spoken, please do not speak his name.
Is it kind of like the myth of Voldemort?
You know who.
Yes.
So I heard that he's hiding out somewhere in a certain temple or cave.
My understanding that he has left this realm and has not been seen here in thousands of years. But you might be right. He is able to jump between realms and planes with frightening alacrity.
I have heard of another one that is almost the same. His name...
Vecna.
I do not know his complete name, but he used to be the king of copper, and rules as an angry lich at certain harpers.
Yes, yes.
I have a question. So you you're sick with the death curse?
Correct. Something
So how
is
did you
draining.
get death curse?
I'm not sure.
Wait, so how did
Others
you,
have been inflicted as well.
how did you die?
Oh, I was killed on an adventure about 70 years ago and was resurrected from the dead.
So how?
But
what
the
killed
resurrection
you?
appears to be wearing off. I was slain by a green dragon. His claws and teeth ripped my flesh. Luckily, my party was able to retrieve my body and reincarnate me. Or resurrect me.
That's a sad.
What are the
one.
risks of being an adventurer? You'll learn these risks soon enough. However, the resurrection spell that was cast upon me seems to be wearing off. I've called clerics, including the one who originally resurrected me, and a long ago adventurer named Frondor. And Frondor attempted to resurrect me again, or to restore the magic that had healed me, with no success.
I've heard that Asarak has started this.
Well, the only clue I have to go on is a relic that the Harpers have discovered called the Soulmonger. It was evidently brought here from another plane during the time of troubles and hidden in a temple somewhere in Chult.
The
So what?
Amu.
Soulmonger.
Amu. The Temple of Amu was where it was hidden according to legend.
I guess.
But we've been unable to find the lost city of Omu. I've sent several battalions of soldiers and many great adventurers, none of who have been able to return with any
can.
useful information.
But we'd rather sail to Chult than to go teleporting because sailing is the fun way.
Teleportation is quicker.
Wait. So I'm trying to figure out. This is
Fine.
our mission to restore
No,
her.
there's actually no actual mission. It all depends on our decisions.
So what would you like us to do?
Go to Chult.
Well, if you were willing, Wakanga Atomu has agreed to house me while I continue to explore Chult. I was planning to teleport to the port city today, actually, to teleport to Port Nyanzaru, where I would stay with Wakanga Atomu as I search for the lost temple of Omu, or city. I'm not even sure what it is.
It's a
As I
temple.
search for Omu in the
It
jungles
was-
of Chult.
it
I would be
was-
able to teleport you there today, if you would like to go with me.
Okay, I'll go. We'll
And
go
I would
with
be
you.
willing to pay you and reward you handsomely. Including,
I need no
you may
payment.
each have one selection from my chest if you are able to find any information that leads me to the collection of the Soulmonger.
My guys, those might come in handy in the quest.
My knowledge of Chult, though, is contained exclusively on this map, which unfortunately is not very detailed.
Oh my.
She hands each of you a copy of a fairly well-drawn piece of cartography.
Oh no.
Which direction is Chult placed? Like this is frontwards?
Yeah, the writing goes at the top. And then she gestures, so the port city of Nanzuro is
I think it's
here.
there.
Port Nanzuro, yeah. Port Nanzuro is here.
Have you ever-
I can teleport us there this afternoon with a small ritual that my house has been using. I've been there 3 or 4 times already, so I have a great deal of success in that thing. Once we get there, it'll be hot summertime. As you know, it's winter here and summer there. And I've been primarily exploring this region of Chult, thinking that this is where I think it's going to be. But so far, I've never had anyone come back.
I guess it.
I say
Pencil, please.
I say of my knowing of Chult, I would believe that something would have happened somewhere, and the answer probably would lie there. And rumors suggest Curseball.
Curseball.
Who's Curseball?
Interesting.
The spot.
Curse about.
Yeah, well, I could easily help finance a mission to there.
Just ritual. And my guys, do you have any magical heavy crossbows in that chest?
That chest is full of miraculous items that I've collected over the decades of adventuring.
decades.
So
I guess.
More like the century and 50 decades.
Amen.
I guess I asked her, could you lend us at least 1 or 2 people to help us?
She's offering if she'll go. She's offering herself to go.
No. She's much too old and decrepit. Something's wrong with her. Like, it's not just aging as an elf, but like it appears that she really does have some kind of sickness. Her flesh looks kind of pallid, and it's unclear. Like, her hair's kind of fallen out or something. She looks very sick.
It seems as if her body is decaying.
Correct.
So
Like,
wait, what other areas have she sought?
So everything that's a white hex, I have no information what's there. All of my exploration has been straight up through the center. I have established base camps several times here that have all been overrun by the jungle, and no survivors have come back. There are armies, apparently, of undead zombies marching through the area that I wasn't aware of. So not only are there dinosaurs and other beasts, there are also huge, well-organized zombie hordes that are attacking.
Pause, please. I'm going bathroom.
All right.
Actually, and then I asked her, I guess, could I possibly assist you in any way with the ritual?
No, the teleportation circle is well established at this point. It will only take me about 20 minutes to charge it up.
So shall we look around here?
Well, I can't get you here. I can get you to the port city of Ninzaro. From here, you'll have to arrange for guides and for transportation to explore the areas of Chult you're interested in exploring.
Actually, let's do this without a guide.
I strongly encourage you to get a guide. The jungle is way more dense than anything you've ever experienced. We have had people get lost mere miles from the port city and starve to death in the jungle, unable to find food.
Let's do that. Shall we get go over here and get a guide and go?
I don't trust the guides. I don't trust the guides.
Why?
They're reliable, trustworthy people in Chult.
But thing is, what if they deal for something and then when you actually finally get it, you feel very suspicious of that item.
What item? The metal rod?
She's encouraging you guys to get guides when you get to Chult to help explore the jungle, and Aaron is concerned that the guides will rob you or somehow won't be trustworthy.
No, I meant they would you could pay, but they say another deal is you could do something for them and get a certain thing. But when you actually get it, you feel like, is this cursed? Is this cursed in the wrong way?
Yeah, a lot of the guides work for other causes besides gold, is what he's pointing to.
Oh.
And that is true. That is very true. There are trappers and collectors and artifact seekers throughout the region. Because the treasures and riches in Chult are unimaginable.
But they're trustworthy, though. Are they?
How are you sure?
I'm sure some are not trustworthy, but the majority of them are very trustworthy. We've relied heavily upon the natives to get us in and out of places.
Oh, so the zombie hordes... Why do
organized,
the
very organized. The surprising thing about them, I've never seen undead act with such vicious unity that I've seen in Chult.
So they're so what do you mean by unity?
They generally, undead seem to operate randomly or with kind of just chaotic intent to kill, whereas these undead seem to be more intent on not only destruction but erasing any existence, covering their tracks, moving stealthily.
Sounds like Asarak's work to me.
He whose name shall not be mentioned?
By doing that, by fearing him, you only make him stronger.
I do fear him. I do fear him only through legend.
The more you fear something, the harder it is to kill it. Because you'll be so afraid your will to fight will be weakened. Or killed.
I have once seen a case like this. It was something about Jubilax or something. And they seem to think that he had spawned all the oozes, and whenever the oozes are near him, they seem to act more strategic.
Interesting.
So, do you think the temple is somewhere around here?
Well, the Soulmonger may or may not be a temple. We're not actually sure what it is. Some of the members of my organization that are more adept at planar travel have brought back rumors of a ancient artifact or device that has moved through the stars, actually, to come to Faerun.
I'm guessing it's Asarak.
So
It
maybe
sounds
we.
like his dirty hand is in this.
So shall we explore this
He
area?
can have a hand,
He has the hand
With
of
the guy?
Vecna.
I guess.
He has the hand of Vecna, and his hand, which is kind of like undead.
Isn't Asarak just a skull?
No,
No, I remember Asarak is a demo lich.
no, he's called the Demi Lich. He should be called the Demi. I call him the Demi Walker. He's known as the Demi Walker or the Demi Lich, but he's actually a regular Lich. I call him the Demi Walker because he's a Demi Planeswalker.
I guess.
So what do you guys want to do?
I want to go somewhere random and start fighting monsters.
Okay, so the steward comes and escorts you to a waiting chamber. She is later you're moved back in the room where the furniture has been moved aside, including that huge couch made out of solid stone. You have no idea how it was moved. It's huge, but a runic circle has been illuminated on the floor with blue glowing magic.
Sounds kind of like on World of
The
Warcraft.
2 guards from the front gate have also come. The magic starts to envelop you, starts to grow, the womb starts to fade away, and suddenly you're standing in a large...
Oh wait, why didn't the guards come with us?
They are with you. They are with you. The guards are with you. The steward is not.
I thought about that.
She is still wearing that weird blanket that's kind of reflective and moving and kind of strange. And you're in a very crowded
City in Chult.
outdoor marketplace. There's tents and canopies set up all around you.
My guy goes-
You're standing next to a water fountain that's perking up. There's actually a triceratops drinking out of the fountain. That when you appear, he jumps kind of startled and then goes back to drinking from the fountain.
My guy looks for any dinosaur shops.
The guards almost immediately start moving Sylvain down one of the rows of out of the marketplace, past the tents, kind of in a general direction away from where you currently are.
My guy says to the people.
So where are we heading?
You're in Port Nazaro. You're here.
right
You're
here.
standing in a crowded marketplace with tents and vendors selling fruits and vegetables, firewood, insect repellents, and other staples.
My guy is like, how much do you charge for insect repellent?
It's 1 gold piece for a week.
For a week of it?
Yeah, and they've got like a large tub.
So my guy gets equivalent to so my guy gets 6 weeks worth of it.
Okay, so you buy 6 large tubs of insect repellent,
Like how big are the tubs?
like a mayonnaise jar.
Okay, that makes sense. So do you want to hear why I got 6 weeks, Dad? Guess why I did that. Because then we each get 2 weeks worth of insect repellent.
So Talon has wandered off and started purchasing insect repellent. The elf, Sylvain, and her 2 guards have started walking off in kind of a parallel direction down through and leaving the marketplace.
So I'll follow the guards.
Yep. They walk for about a quarter mile and come to a large palatial estate. They talk to the guards for a little while. They gesture to you who are just behind them, and you all are kind of like escorted into the home of Watangu. He's a large trader. He welcomes Sylvana. He comes running out of the house, welcoming her, kind of escorting her up the stairs and into the house, where she's handed off to several of his guards, who take her up some stairs that's right off the entryway. He then turns and addresses you. Adventurers! What brings you to Chult?
No one ever seems to no one ever seems to notice me or actually know me, and they happen to know those two.
I've never seen them before in my life.
Cool.
You're a wizard?
Apparently.
A relative of Sylvania, I assume?
So
Very far.
Oh.
So Mikey, can Mikey get 20 plus 1 ammunition?
No, that's just that's not there, Cody. Just tear that off.
So we're here
Yes.
to help Sylvie
Yes.
to find that soulmonger.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad that you're here. She's been working very hard, financing several campaigns into the jungles to try to discover those. I strongly encourage you guys to head out as soon as you can by heading back to the marketplace and hiring a guard, equipping yourselves with water, bug repellent, whatever the guide thinks is required. We've been spending most of our time exploring the northern coast for any kind of clues.
This tile.
The only thing we've come across recently is a large group of frost giants recently landed in huge ships, like almost like warships. About 20 frost giants were seen landing on the northern shore and marching directly into the heart of the jungle. We don't know why, but it was a large group of, and very out of place. You know, it's smoking hot here in Chult, and frost giants would be miserable here.
So what would you suggest that we equip ourselves with?
Well, we're very curious about what the frost giants are doing, so that would be excellent. Your guide will have the best information on what you'll need to survive in the jungle, depending on where you're going.
I already got 2 weeks of insect repellent.
Insect repellent is going to be required, but you'll need much more if you're going to spend any time in the jungle. It's very dangerous.
How about just going like, back?
Giants.
Are the insects scared of fire?
Yes.
Then I'll just keep throwing fireballs.
Excellent.
Fireballs.
A wizard is always helpful on any adventure. As is a cleric to purify water. It's very difficult to stay hydrated in the jungle. It's very hot.
So these giants, how tall are they?
Frost giants are
20.
about 18 to 24 feet.
18 to 22 feet.
Yeah,
No.
frost giants are big guys.
No, weren't the storm giants 24, and then the frost giants were like
A little
like
bit shorter.
18?
Yeah. 18 to 24 in there, depending on how big they are, but not as big as storm giants, but huge guys.
They're armored.
So frost giants, they wear the things that they've killed.
Oh.
So they're usually wearing like giant dinosaurs or dragon hide or stuff like that. They're all about slaughtering huge creatures.
So that means wouldn't they have woven in traveler and adventurer's swords into their things?
Giants generally stay away from humans. They don't engage with humans very often, right? They're usually in remote locations far from human They don't slaughter humans for no reason generally.
It's not like they charge into a human civilization. It's
That would be
more like
unusual.
the humans charge into the giant civilization.
So
But
you
even
guys,
humans leave giants alone mostly, right? They're generally not causing much harm.
so do you guys want to follow them and find out what they're doing?
That's a great idea. You could hire a ship, sail around to where they landed, and maybe try to track them into the jungle.
Maybe we could maybe we could burn their ship. Hey!
Burn their ships.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not sure what's happened to their ships. My guides... So I had agents exploring that part of the jungle when they landed.
Yeah.
They fled in fear. So I'm not sure after they disembarked what they did with their ships. They may still be on shore.
So my guess is if we burned their ships, they'd have no ships to return. And why do you think they
But why are
fled?
they here?
Why do you think they fled is the real question.
Why did my guides flee? They were terrified.
No, why did the giants
The
flee?
giants didn't flee. They got out of their boats and went into the jungle.
But why were your guys so scared? Oh, yeah.
My guys were scared because they'd never seen frost giants before. They're from Chult. There's no frost giants here. They were, 15 feet tall blue men with giant axes.
Okay, that sounds terrifying for,
Yeah, for
someone who's
anybody.
never seen that.
Particularly if you're first level. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock, so we're going to stop here for tonight, okay? So you're still in Wakonga's house, preparing for how you want to explore the jungles of Chult.
I thought
Is that good?
Yeah.
wait,
sounds good.
only one more thing. Can
Yes.
my guy go to like a dinosaur merchant to buy
Let's do that next week, Cody. We'll pick up right where we left off. We can do some additional shopping and equipping
First
of our
thing I'll
party.
do next week, I'm probably gonna try to find someone who sells magic items.
There are people selling magic items in Chult.
Why?
Next week, I
I'm
don't
getting
know if
plus
we're
one
gonna be
am-
here
I'm getting
Wednesday.
plus 1 silver to me.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're gonna be up in the bay.
Oh, because holiday.
Yeah.
I'll try to run again. I think we have some friends that may start coming on Wednesday, so we might get a couple more kids.
Okay.
You know, and so the vision is maybe we get like 3 or 4 or 5 kids playing, and then dads won't have to play. You know, we can just run for them, but we'll see.
But let's have a dad DM.
Oh, I'll DM for a little while until you guys get ready. You can keep the map. Cody, did you want to keep a copy of the map?
Yeah, I kept.
Yeah.
You got a
I
map? Did
kept
everyone get a
I
copy of
kept
the
a
map?
copy. Wait, but shouldn't you still be there?
Okay, here we go.
I think the dads should be. Like
Yeah, we can.
kids and
The dads
fathers.
can play too. It's not a problem, Cody.
Yeah, kid and father like that.
Dad and son game.
So I'm kind of learning how to adjust myself to the way they think and
Yes.
how we think.
It takes a while.
You know, it's just,
Yeah, you're not
it's just different.
Yeah.
You be cautious. Us charging the shield up. What do you mean?
Like I happen to do in someone's village.
Remember how my
Arakora.
the Ericoa. The Ericoa were definitely corrupt there. Do you agree that
Australian